Okay, my friends, let's go. Ah, there we are. Shrine of Azura. Well, that way. Let's check the map here. Well, we need to go around a circuitous route. I'm going to try and head south. Some things to take care of down that way anyway, so we don't get lost on the way. Look at all the wolves, oh goodness. Oh. Got a screenshot of that, I think, possibly.
Where'd you come from? No, you don't. Done. No choice.
Yeah. Excuse me. Where the right. Got a good few hours sleep in the lighthouse, so oh, so he's cultists. So silly. There's a lighthouse. Only 3 of them. There's a third one. What? Right, okay. Fine. I'll take your ectoplasm. Ah. I shall take that. Oh. Dawn Guard, eh?
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, you won't back down, but you'll die instead. Nice. Ah yes, there's the... I beat that in before. Okay. Okay, my friend, you should rest here for now. I've got some business to take care of.
Yes?
What do you need, my thing?
Relax. Oh yeah, good luck. I will take your soul, thank you very much. You've got 2 troll skulls. Kill a rival. Interesting. Hopefully the guy she's looking for is around about here somewhere. Oh, skeleton here. Oi, where are you going? Here.
Wow, that was a frightening experience. The Nords should really consider burning their dead. Although granted it would make opening urns a lot more harrowing.
Frightening, if you're a coward maybe.
Well, if I was a coward, the last place I'd be is out here. Although I do my best to avoid combat whenever necessary. For instance, that treasure over there? All yours. Those bones won't be needing it.
Yes, I'll be taking everything here, whether the dead like it or not.
Yes, it's almost rather adorable the way they think they can still spend it.
Yeah.
And even if they could, what would they spend it on? Traps, probably. Although I imagine the only thing a skeleton fears are dogs.
What's your name?
The name's Ramarin, professional adventurer, bladebinder, and grave robber.
What's a blade binder?
It's right there in the word. I summon and bind blades and weapons from oblivion.
Oh.
I was always good with the sword and bow and always too lazy to carry them. Learning how to conjure the weapons I need solved that dilemma.
If you had any strength, your weapons would never be a burden.
Well, there's the problem. I have skill, not strength. I have speed, but no stamina. I mean, look at me. I'm rather delicate. I'm surprised I can lift anything at all.
So would you classify yourself as a witchblade or a spell sword then?
No, I can't compare to them. Unless by illusion you mean hiding a dagger in my sleeve. Not unless by alteration you mean covering my nose around beggars, or by destruction you mean what time does to love. I consider myself more of a blacksmith. Oblivion is my forge, and conjuration my hammer.
So what's the advantages of only using bound weapons?
Well, for starters, travelling light makes it easy to flee. Not that I would advocate running from a fight. No, best to back away slowly until your friends intervene.
Yes, and once your friends are there to hold you back, you charge ahead.
That's always been my strategy for brawls. The problem is, I never have enough companions to make it worthwhile.
So do you know any other magic besides conjuring weapons?
Ever seen an elf juggle 3 axes while conjuring a 4th? Tie a cherry stem into a knot with their tongue? Now that's magic. Now, if you mean spells and things, that I'm afraid requires more than being born with your ears pointed skyward. That requires, studying.
Well, you wear the robes of a college mage.
Not quite. These are actually a cheap imitation, woven and enchanted to look like their more esteemed counterpart. The point is to convince naive patrons the enchantments were performed by a master. They are not.
If you know it's a gimmick, why buy them yourself?
Well, consider the fact that bandits are twice as naive as the average customer looks. Thus, one ruse leads to another. Not that these robes are only good for conjuring a story. The enchantment is far from spectacular, but on occasion it does help me conserve magicka.
Most robes lack defence anyway. You need alteration to seal your flesh.
But not everyone can do both conjuration and alteration. Most can't do either. I mean, tomes tell us how to cast magic, but does anyone really know how it works? They say there's a book on conjuration so complicated that only 2 scholars can understand it, and both disagree on the meaning. Vehemently.
Who crafts these robes?
Well, I know a guy, a real master of mimicry. Robes from Winterhold, fake scimitars from Hammerfell. There is nothing this craftsman can't replicate. Well, except a personality.
Can the person who made your robes do handwritten forgeries?
Him? Oh no, he's a bit daft when it comes to writing. Besides, he's too busy making curved swords.
Curved swords.
But I do know an Argonian who does excellent forgeries. I once asked him to make a Jarl's decree that pies were a type of vegetable. Problem is, I heard he ran into a bit of trouble stitching together guard uniforms for a group of bandits.
What sort of trouble?
Well, apparently they weren't good enough to trick some mad dark elf who hunts lawbreakers. So the bandits decided to take it out on my poor friend. Chances are he isn't alive, or in one piece. But we could try and rescue what's left of him.
Excellent. The bandits will soften them up and you'll do whatever we ask.
Good idea, although he really is only good at forgery. I mean, we could ask him to tell us bad jokes, but then I'd be out of a job.
So do you have any idea where these bandits took him?
More than an idea, I know the exact location of their hideout. I was pretending to be his bodyguard when he made the deal. Knife Point Ridge was the name, over in Fall Creek. If he's alive, we'll find him there.
Oof. Goodness me, it's a long way to go.
Yes?
I'm not sure war paint on why the line under the eyes.
Well, I was going to go for something more subtle, like a wyvern mounting a cliff racer, but I thought that people might misinterpret the analogy. And besides, there wasn't enough room on my groin to begin with, so I decided to paint my face instead. A dash under the eyes helps with the glare. So does a hood.
What about in general? Do you know if there is a significance in war paint?
Well, in some parts of Tamriel, war paint is seen as a tribal mark for warriors. In others, it can be a family crest, an artistic splash, or just too much makeup. Of course, excessive makeup is traditionally a sign you will service wealthy nobles for gold. And before you ask, my price is 100 septims and no kissing on the mouth. Okay, maybe once or twice, but no tongue.
That's a shame, I enjoy tongue jousting.
Not that it doesn't form an appealing visual, but if we actually did joust with our tongues, we'd likely crack our skulls. And I don't even own a horse, so there's that.
I have a sense of humour, I like you.
Good. Skyrim could use more of it. Humour and sense.
So as a high elf, you also have an opinion on the Thalmor.
I do. They're tall, punctual, and have good posture.
So I guess that means you're not a Thalmor.
True, I'm not very punctual. And I'm actually an inch shorter than the average high elf. Wait, that came out wrong. Well, you know what I mean.
Where are you headed now?
Oh, I have a friend who works the stables at Windhelm. That's where I'm staying for the time being. I normally travel alone, but that's because I'm insufferable. If by chance you're willing to overlook that, I might make for a good companion.
Okay. Well, come with me for now then.
Let's go.
Right. So what's in here? Ah, right, let's see what this is. Almost had it. Goodness me. Gotcha. Are
you supposed to hit people with it, or do they just recoil in horror from looking
both. Oh, what's this? Increasing your magic of 70 points. Magic regenerates 150% faster. Alteration spells and enchantments cost 20% less. Conjuration spells and enchantments cost 20% less. Jesus Christ. Oof. Wow. Okay, Roman, I've got something else to do, so right down there. Let's go down to the path.
They say Polydor and Eloisa were doomed because of the cruel nature of the world. Remind me to use that excuse if I ever break up with someone. It's not you. It's not even me. It's the cruel nature of the world.
Reveler in it. No time for that just now. Right.
Is there any way you'd rather spend the day than drinking honey brew mead?
Drink honey brew mead with a winch on each arm?
I'd rather have...
Why's that?
Ready to get moving?
Yes, sir. Doing something. Or I will be doing something. Mine are senses tingling.
Remember, when in doubt, aim for the crotch.
Wait here for a moment.
Alright, I'll stand guard until you get back. Some say Rumarin is a feminine name, but I'm not a girl, I just fight like one.
You sound like a healthy sense of humour.
It helps that my parents were troubadours and we spent every day around performers of all walks of life. Jesters, actors, magicians and bards, a wellspring of speechcraft that you couldn't help but drink from. It was the jester whom I gravitated to, a Nord man named Otero.
How did that relationship develop?
Otero was always better with children than adults, probably because it's easier to make them laugh. You see, laughter was important to him. He said it was powerful enough to disarm any foe.
So where did you go on an adventurer?
The day I stopped wanting to be a jester, I was about 10 years old. Otero had taken me aside one afternoon to practice his new act. It was a great routine. In fact, I was laughing so loud I attracted an audience. A group of bandits.
What did you do?
Well, I was terrified, but Otero rose up looking fat and half drunk and warned the bandits to leave or die. The bandits started roaring with laughter. When Otero made another threat, some were reduced to tears. They never saw the blade slide out of his sleeve. I never saw a fat man act so swift. And that's when I learned how disarming laughter really is.
Let's talk about hope. Change my mind. Okay.
I'm right behind you. My invisible magic sword is yours.
Follow me.
I'm right behind you.
Right. Definitely not going near the Wind Helm. Just now. But as you're, that's where I need to go. Right, we want to get our friends back first. Come on, man. Let's come on. Too far away to bother about just now. It's almost done. Could be a good take a rest again. Still feeling good.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. I have a letter here for you. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Codrier? I think it was Codrier. Let's see. Quentyl. You may or may not realise this, but by taking care of Anori's puppies, you have indirectly helped me. Don't worry about how I know it was you. I won't be following the authorities, but I would like to reward you for your efforts. Please visit me at your earliest convenience. Codrier. It was Codrier. That's interesting. Codrier. There he is. Oh. To travel back along that road, I suppose. I think I've guessed.
Alright, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you like a fish.
Oh there, don't you recognise a fellow guild member?
Of course. I've seen you at the flagon. My mistake.
It's the eyes.
Good luck out there.
Run back down, Quentyl got killed him anyway. There's time for people like that. Just accosting people on the road. Well, thieves do that anyway, but you want to overlook your mistake once. And if he continued to accost her, he would have died. Plain and simple. Insane.
Ever heard of the arena? If they ever made a competition out of eating elsewhere fondue, I'd be grand champion. And a skooma at it.
Right, so we'll have to wait this guy getting up, eh? Let's wait a couple of hours.
haven't conjured a dagger in ages. I hope they haven't changed the spell.
Never mind chopping, David. You wanted to speak to me?
I trust you know what you're doing with that spell.
I do. You wanted to thank me for killing Erodius Puppets.
My joy knows no bounds. Here, a little payment for your troubles. I trust we'll never need to speak of this again to anyone.
No. If you lead, I'll follow.
Let's get back to Nightgate Inn. For a change, it's not snowing. Excellent. Those trolls. Does indeed. Excellent. Oh, she's opened it. Just looking for some certain ingredients in particular.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance.
Yeah, I get that a lot. What have you got for sale?
Ah, so you're an alchemist then?
What you got? No, I don't have anything. Right. It's a shame.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well. Okay, then I'm just relaxing here and meet my friends. I'm going to have a little kip. Where's the that's what we've got.
A Thalmor party? I bet they throw great ones. It's always the people you least expect.
You seen Full-Time Sword? It's one of the Makaviri things. You don't think...
Think what? That full-time could take you in a fight? I already thought that. And I didn't have to think very long.
What is it now?
Who are you?
The Nords used to call me Morris, the Living Draugr, because of my prowess on the battlefield and the fear I struck in my enemies.
Well, sure it isn't because of your armour.
Well, that came after. I figured if these sodding ice blondies were going to start calling me a Draugr, I might as well look the part. Now, where was I?
You're saying they called you the Living Draugr?
Right, on account I ain't dead. Only now I've gotten to that age where they don't bother to make a distinction. I mean, I get it. Maybe I can't swing Ebony the way she likes it. Maybe some days I wake up and my knees burn or my back starts barking like my old lady used to when I forgot to burn the trash. But I'm hardly an old man, even for a warrior. Some say I'm still with the swords of 20 men. I've been saying it for years.
Well, the cowardly and the strong grow old. I think we know which one you are.
Listen, you Horker's uncle, at some point tonight, I'm going to walk outside, find the lover constellation, and pray Dremora beds your mother. Then I'm going to come back and knock your teeth in. But first, I need another drink.
Yeah, well, whatever.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Are you alright? You look like you got ataxia. I'm not a priestess, but I did read Withershins back in the year 199.
I'm fine.
Well, good for you. Withershins was a terrible book anyway. The name's Colin. What can I do you for?
Well, I heard you talking to that guy Draugr out there.
Not much of a talker. No, Morris, that one's a talker. He won't shut up about his dead wife and the corpse he calls his manhood.
You seem like a talker to me.
Okay, so I lied. I talk. But I also get things done. So, if you got things need slaying, I gotta steal to slay 'em. Well, more like you got the iron.
So you're an adventurer then?
Pretty much. Got the face for it anyway. I was too cute to be a tavern wench and too ugly to be a brothel whore. And no, I don't have the two mixed up. At least I don't think I do. Which one is Hadring?
Harding would make a beautiful tavern wench.
Well, he wouldn't be the first one who needed a good shave. Never met a bald tavern wench, though. If Hedring didn't rip out all of his hair and stuff it up his nose, I'd say we're onto something.
You an iron sword?
Rusty iron, if you want to be particular. Rusty enough to give a bandit a real dirty nick. A nick that might fester and kill him. Although it doesn't really cut as much as it clubs. But if you smack him hard enough, they die all the same.
Yeah, well. Tell me more about yourself.
Ain't much to tell. I tried being a soldier for the Empire until I realized that I hate taking orders.
Yeah.
I thought about training warriors, but I hate giving orders more than taking them. I thought about becoming a beggar, but they make little more than sell swords. I thought maybe I become a priest, until I remembered that the only god I worship is coin. So I decided to become an adventurer, because pretty much anyone qualifies.
So what brings you to the Pale?
Well, this is gonna sound pretty stupid, because it is. It's pretty much the stupidest thing in the history of stupid ways a person can answer the question, "What are you doing, stupid?"
Okay, I'll bite. What are you doing here, stupid?
I'm here for Horkers. Yeah, that's right, Horkers. Told you it was stupid. See, I have this friend, and he's mad about Horkers. Just loves them. Loves to eat them, that is. Anything else would be too weird. Eating them is weird enough.
Well, as an adventurer, sometimes you have to eat strange things.
Oh, probably right. I guess some adventurers like to explore caves and old forts, and others like to explore the bottom of a bottle. Guess which one I am.
So you're saying your friend like Horkers?
Right. So, one day we're at some inn and he's gobbling down the slop while I'm gobbling down the ale. He's eaten about a half of it when he gets up and goes outside to, you know, drop his own little hawk in the hay. He tells me to watch his stew, as if anyone would put that poison in their mouth but him. Thing is, my head's spinning from all the ale, and pretty soon my arms are spinning too, especially when one of them birds starts chirping.
So what happened next?
Take a guess. The big oaf came back right when it hit the floor. Now, I'm expecting things to go airborne. Mugs, flagons, benches, alchemy tables. But he just walked away. Didn't say a word. Would have been easier if he just let me have it.
Suppose you're here on Horkers then?
That's right. Heard they got a bunch of real fat ones by Lake Yorgrim. Figure they clubber a few and bring them back as a peace offering.
What did Horker do?
Good point. If I really wanted to show the big elf I cared, I wouldn't have just any old hawker. I heard up north they got one as big as a galleon and as ugly as an orc's first wife. Problem is, I'm not so good at finding stuff. Losing stuff? No, I'm the queen of that. Finding? Not so much.
Well, you help me track it down.
You what? Are you serious? By Morris's cheese breath you are. Well, far be it for me to talk you out of something stupid. Now, the Horkers here are too small, but Hadring says there's a Horker so big it sunk an entire ship somewhere up north.
Oof. What's the name of the ship?
They call it a brine hammer. We should head on over there.
Yeah, well.
You can take the lead, seeing how excited you are to do this. I'm more of a follower anyway.
Yeah, I met Colin in previous games and I actually quite like her. It's pretty cool.
Ever try and play with her shins? I never get past E.
So you don't like the jogger guy?
Well, he's got his moments. I come to this inn and first thing I ask Hadring is what you got to drink. And Morris says, I hope you like piss. Poor Hadring. His swill ain't so bad, but with these socialist drinkers around, spreading gossip like a midwife, it's no wonder this inn is so dead.
Hardring's swill is indeed bad and you should feel bad for defending it.
I don't know. I've had worse. Ever been to Cyrodiil? They got beer that tastes like it was squeezed out of a miner's sock.
Probably was. I'll meet you at the deck of the Binehammer. Got other things to do first, but yeah.
Alright, but don't take too long, else I'll have to kill this thing without you.
Right. See you later, Callan. Oh, Janessa. Where's that guy?
Yes?
No one ever comes to this dump.
Speak up already.
Who's Ebony, by the way?
You blind or just slow. Ebony's my sword, my girl. She always has my back, and I mean that literally.
So you mentioned your old lady. There's a Mrs. Drugger?
Like I said, used to be. I reckon I wouldn't be here in this sloat belly of an inn if she still was. We met in one of them forts. I was feeding Ebony a nice plate of bandit breakfast when I found one of them still in her bedroll. Now, I ain't no softy. I'll kill a man in his sleep. This one, though, she just rolls over and looks at me with those big doe eyes just as I was about to take her head. So I took her maiden head instead.
Well. Then what happened?
Next day, we went to the chapel in Riften and got Marta's blessing. The priest asked me if I'd love her now and forever, and I was too much of a coward to run.
And you lived happily ever after?
Not quite. The old lady got on me like any big Nord cow, but it wasn't all scars and prison bars. Not like some of these fur huggers made it seem. I don't know about you, but I find a lot of these Talos lovers like to boast about the strength of their women as much as the power of their god. Then the first chance they get, they go out and marry some Breton girl that can fit in their palm.
As opposed to your marriage, which was bitter and loveless.
I stuck by my old lady. Reckon half the time I deserved it, and the other half she needed to let it out just to keep her head straight. Ain't easy giving up a bow and arrow for a kettle and broom.
So why did you and your wife split up?
In a word, it was her father.
I think it didn't approve.
I know that's how it usually is, but approval was one thing this bootlicker didn't lack. No, if anything, he approved too much. Thing is, before I came riding in on my white horse, him and the old lady weren't exactly on speaking terms. Us tying the knot changed that. As far as he was concerned, I was some dashing milk drinker who came and rescued his princess like in them stories.
What else did he do?
He started hiring mercenaries to accompany me, which ain't my thing. Morris, the living Draugr, doesn't work with hired thugs. Not to mention sellswords ain't exactly brimming with honor. But I didn't have the heart to tell the old man no.
What happened with the sellswords?
It didn't take them long to figure out it was easier to kill the man with the gold than to take on a nest of angry Draugrs. When we got inside the barrow, I charged on ahead like a dumb beast. It wasn't until I was halfway through the dungeon that I realized the yellow bellies had locked the door behind me. I ain't no good with locks, so it took me all night to get out the back way. By the time I got home, both the old lady and her father were dead.
Ah. Well, look at the bright side, you still have Ebony.
No, I reckon I'll be the one to leave her first. Just as well. I can't bear the thought of some filthy grave robber putting his hands on her waist. Enough of this somber talk. It's a big world, and there are still plenty of ladies to bed and caves to raid.
Right. Harding said there's an orc living in the cellar.
And there's a pine tree living in my trousers, but you don't see me bothering you about it.
I'm just saying something could have happened to him, something sharp and pointy.
What's that mean? One less orc in the world? Excuse me if I don't go to my room and sob to death. I'm sure he's down in the cellar, just like Hadring says, or out on the pier. And if he ain't, well, nobody's gonna miss him.
You haven't met him though, have you?
There's a cellar door that leads to the back of the inn. And if he passed through here, I was probably too drunk to notice.
Something must have given people reason to doubt you.
Not something. Someone. It all started when I was exploring the Forsaken Cave in Eastmarch. I was being chased by Draugr, and like a dumb mule, I stepped on a pressure plate. Next thing I know, I'm taking a battering ram to the gut. Shattered just about every rib I own and other parts I didn't know I had.
What did you do?
I crawled back to Windhelm. Lay in bed at Candlehearth Hall for 2 straight days. Couldn't even breathe without pain. Then I get this message from an urchin. Said Orthus and Dario wanted to see me about a job. I told him to go screw. The next day, Orthus himself graces me with his presence. I tell him again to go screw. Said I'm too tired to be running his errands.
What did this Orthus want?
Orthus says it's a milk run, a training exercise for new Legion recruits. They were escorting a minimum security shipment to Solitude. All I had to do was show the little cave rats what to look out for. There'd even be another senior soldier from the, what do you call it? Pennius Ocularium?
It's Pennius Oculatus, Mammoth Bane.
Hey, my ancestors were Colovian. We founded the Legion. It's the Nibonese that made up all the little titles and rituals.
So I take it you went.
You bet your sweet roll I did. A man in my position doesn't pass up easy coin, even if it means dealing with Nibonese worms. The trouble was, this senior Legion officer took exception to my reputation. Didn't like that the recruits looked up to an outsider, especially a Colovian Imperial dressed in the armor of a frost hugger.
What did he do?
He tried to put me in my place. Said stuff that'd make the Daedra cover their ears. But I can give it as good as I can take it. Not that it was hard, what with that stupid Legion skirt he was wearing. Problem is, my insults worked too well. See, we were just up the road from here when we got ambushed by a snow bear.
Yeah, those things can be pretty relentless.
Uh-oh is right. Instead of trying to show me up, this Legionnaire coward gives way, forcing me to take the lead. I swear this bear came at me like I killed its sister, and I couldn't even lift Ebony over my head. The weight and the pain dropped me to the ground. Now I ain't no lily liver, but sometimes a man has to swallow his pride and ask for help. If only I asked. Instead, I looked back and screamed. Funny thing is, the officer, even the recruits, they were all laughing. I was so hysterical I didn't even notice the stupid bear was licking my face.
What happens next?
Well, my ribs hurt so bad they had to carry me here. All the while, this Legionnaire has a grin on his face like an open wound. Not a week later, and there isn't a bard in Skyrim who isn't telling the tale of Morris the Jogger and the bear who pitied him.
Anything new here?
Not unless you brought some real ale with you.
Nope, I didn't. Right.
Need a room? Or maybe just some mead?
Tell me about the inn.
This old place? Huh. Been here forever. Built by my great-granddad. Run by him, then all the way up the line to me.
Any water?
Of course.
Do you have a lot of business?
Nah, not so much. The odd traveler on the road. But mostly just old full-time. Come to drink away a lifetime of bad memories, I'd wager. Of course, there's the orc. Long-term tenant, that one. For what he pays, I could afford to shut this place down.
Tell me about the orc.
Him? Oh, name's, Balablob, or, Malaclob, one of them funny orc names. Talks real good, though. Not a savage at all. Said he's a writer. Don't know what kind of job that is, but it must earn him some pretty coin. He's paid up for the next few months. He mostly just hangs about. Goes down to the lake, sometimes samples the stores of wine in the cellar. Man can do whatever he pleases, far as I care.
Okay. I want to enter a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
That spell looks dangerous. Keep your distance.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Okay. Right, shall... No door. Not that bothers her very much, but there we go. I think we'll sleep the day away and head out at night, so I will see you there. Bye for now.